Well guys, it is kind of a rainy day, not really a lot going on, and I thought today'd be fun to share a little beginner's magic routine with you guys. It's been a while since I've done a proper magic tutorial on this channel and I kind of miss it. What's up everybody, Kiergopes here and welcome back. Now here's the thing, usually when I do a tutorial on this channel, it doesn't perform that well per se. So if you guys enjoy this content, if you end up liking this video, or if you want to see more videos like it, do make sure that you drop a like on the video. It helps me out more than you think. Okay, so what I'm going to be teaching you today is kind of a combination of a few things. I'm going to be teaching you a pretty easy card control that will allow you to get a selected card to the second position in a deck of cards. As well, I'm going to be teaching you a very simple color change based on instant replay. If you guys have ever seen that little card flourish, this color change is essentially based off the exact same principle. And as well, I will give you some performance tips and a few things that you can do to really make this stand out. Now, keep in mind, this is a tutorial for beginner magicians or for people out there that are just kind of getting into cards and want to know how to do a few things just in the rare occasion somebody wants to see a card trick from one of us. It's actually like almost never. But either way, you can impress your friends, your family, your ma, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever with this simple little trick. So before we get into it, please do drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's roll that intro and get you guys on your way.
Let's go.
All right, now for this, we are going to be using the Orbit Cardistry Con Reprint V1s. This is absolutely one of my favorite Orbit decks. I love it. All right, now the first thing we need to do is shuffle up the cards. You can have these mixed thoroughly. You can even hand them to the spectator and have them shuffle it or cut the deck or whatever they want to do, okay? But once they're happy that the cards have been successfully shuffled and mixed up, you need to have them select a card. There's a couple different ways you could do this. You could have them name one out loud or just reach in and grab one, but it is a truly fair and free selection. So let's say that the spectator takes this one, the Queen of Hearts. We're going to take the Queen of Hearts and we're just going to pop it somewhere in the middle there, okay? You can see we didn't do anything sneaky. There's nothing on the bottom. The card has not been moved to the top, but I believe that with enough speed, we could actually heat the ink on this card enough to change with just a flick. And if you look, it now looks a lot more like your card, the Queen of Hearts. Okay, so let's get into the mechanics and how to do it. So this is a fun one. Like I said, this will be a good one to impress your friends if you just got into magic, or if you want to look like you have more magic chops than you actually do. This is definitely the kind of trick you want to bust out for people. People love color changes, especially non-magic people. So there's no setup for this. It is completely impromptu. It's a pretty short routine, but I think with the right pattern, with the right performance around it, you can really come up with something special. But in terms of mechanics, the only prerequisite that you might need to know how to do would be, like, if you're performing this live, you might need to know how to shuffle cards like in your hands or if you're not at a table. But other than that, I'll pretty much teach you everything you need to know right now. Okay, so first the cards are shuffled. Like I said, either you can do this or you can have the spectator shuffle the cards. You can literally have them mix it up as much as they want. Doesn't matter, the cards are completely random. Now what you're gonna do is have them select a card. I think if you're doing this in person, the best thing you could do would be just have them name their favorite card. So let's say you're talking to somebody whose favorite card is the Ace of Clubs. You can just reach in and grab out the Ace of Clubs. You could even have them sign this card if you wanted to. Now that adds a little bit of an extra touch to it, a little bit more personalization. It also makes the reveal a little bit more magical because the signature kind of just makes it one of a kind. All right, so they select the Ace of Clubs. You have now isolated the Ace of Clubs from the rest of the deck. So I'm holding the deck in my left hand, the spectator's card in my right hand. Now normally I would have the spectator sign the card. So I would hand this to them to sign, and while they're doing that, I'm just gonna get a pinky break under the top card. If you don't know what a pinky break is, it's very simple. All it is holding a gap between the top card and the rest of the deck with your pinky. Now from the front, you can't see this move. From the side, it's a little bit more obvious, okay? So the spectator chooses the Ace of Clubs. You hand this to them to sign. While they're doing that, you just slide over, get a pinky break, and you're holding the deck now like this, and you can take the card back. So you take the card back and you say, okay, we're gonna go ahead and lose this card into the middle of the deck. So now we're gonna control the card to the second position. So we want it to be the second card from the top of the deck. We're gonna accomplish this by using what's called the Marlowe tilt. The Marlowe tilt is essentially creating the illusion that you're taking a single playing card and putting it in the middle of the deck, when in reality, you are putting it second from the top of the deck. All right, we'll use a different card here. So here's where we're at so far. The spectator selects a card. They want this one, the 3 of hearts. While they're signing the card or looking at the card, memorizing it, or showing their friends, all you're doing is subtly pushing over and getting a pinky break under that top card, okay? Spectator hands you the playing card back, and you're just gonna make it look like you're sliding it into the middle of the pack, when really, with your pinky break, you're just sliding it under the top card. But from here, you can't tell that. It just looks like it's going into the middle. Now, what I like to do is let go of the deck a little bit. And what that does is it almost makes it look like it outjogs a card in the middle that you can square up and further the illusion that it's going in the middle of the deck. 10 of clubs is their card. They select it. They're signing it. They hand it back. You've got a pinky break. You create the illusion that it has gone into the center of the deck. You say, I haven't done anything sneaky. It's not on the bottom. Show the top card. It's not on the top. Get another pinky break over here. Now you can go, however, I believe that if I can do this fast enough, I can actually get the ink to change. Now what you're doing is when you take the card back, you're just putting it face up on top of the rest of the cards, but with your break under the selected card. So now it looks like this. You've got your break. This is not the card. Just place it on top and make sure it's completely flush. Make sure the cards are squared up so that you can't see that it's 2 cards, okay? Now for this, a tip, make sure you keep it low. You don't want to show that the card is back to back like that. You want to make it look like it is just 1 card. So this was obviously not their card, but if you blink, you might miss it. I think if I do this fast enough, you've now loaded the second card. And this is where we're going to do the sleight of hand move number 2, and that is going to be the instant replay color change. Now the instant replay is really easy. So you show this card, this is not your card, you've got your pinky break, you turn not their card over on top of your break, so now your cards are set up like this. The instant replay is very simple. So you just grab the card from the sides like that, and you're gonna push the index in to create a little bit of a bevel. Now what's gonna happen is that pressure, when you let go, physics is just gonna drop the card the opposite direction. Ultimately, what it ends up looking like is that you've just picked up 1 card, you flick your hand, and it changes to a different card, and then you can pick it up and clearly show that it's legit. Okay, so let's go through this again. We shuffle the cards, or we have the spectator shuffle the cards, okay? But we make sure that they are thoroughly shuffled. We could even give the cards a cut. Now we're gonna have the spectator name a card out loud or select one. So they select this one, and they're happy with it. That is the 2 of diamonds, okay? At this point, we've already gotten our little break, so we can do the Marlowe tilt. So we're gonna go, okay, let's lose the 2 of diamonds somewhere in the middle, okay? Now look, you can make it look like you're in-jogging a card or pushing it all the way in. Then you go, nothing funny's happened, it's not on the bottom, and as you can clearly see, it is not on the top. Now when you're showing this, this is what's really going on. Whoop. You're getting another pinky break, buddy. So now you're getting ready to do the instant replay. So you take the card back, make sure it's squared up completely so it just looks like 1 card from the front. Best way to do that, I think, is just set it on top and then let it fall. It'll just naturally kind of square itself up. Now you're going to pick up the 2 cards above your pinky as 1, and you're going to get ready for instant replay. So you're going to bevel these between your middle and thumb. A little pressure with the index. Get ready to catch it in this hand. And all you're doing is letting go first with your thumb, and it's going to allow the cards to shoot. And from the pressure, they're going to do a full 180 and land on the deck. Now, usually your cards will stick together. This deck is extremely clumpy, doesn't really fan anymore. So it's a lot easier with a deck that's maybe a little bit more worn in. But you can do this with a brand new deck. The key is keep it close. If you get too far away, it either doesn't land or it won't stay flush. It'll bounce, and you don't want that. So you're gonna want to keep it really close. So you got it there, like that. Boom. All right, guys, so that is the trick, the effect, the routine, whatever you want to call it. Fairly simple, but it looks really good. Looks good for camera too. This is definitely one that once you practice it a few times, you'll be glad you took the time to learn it. Well guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Like I said, this is definitely a beginner routine, but it's a full routine. It's something that you can do if you're just getting into cards to really show what you're capable of without having to be capable of that much. Anyway, this is also one that really looks good on camera, so if you guys do decide to do this for Instagram or for YouTube or whatever the case is, make sure you either tag me in that video or send me a link via DM on Instagram so I can check it out. I will actually be watching the videos that you guys tag me in, and I'll even repost some of them. I might do a little spotlight where I shout some of you out in the next video. So if this is something that you enjoyed, film yourself doing it, tag me in it, and maybe you'll pop up in my next video. As well, I do have some amazing stuff planned with a specific deck of cards called Generation 1. If you guys haven't heard about that, that is one of my decks of cards. It's a collaboration with me and a very, very close friend of mine, Luke Wadey. The decks are finally printed. They should start shipping soon, which means I should be getting mine soon. And when I do, you guys can bet there will definitely be a video about that. Hopefully that's enough to get you subscribed if you aren't already, and hopefully enough to get you to drop a like on this video if you haven't. And with all that being said, I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day. I know I will. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.